The Leviathan Races. Through the histories of the fallen angelics there have been many stellar races that have sought to seed their consciousness, their DNA genetic mutations to impact the Earth and humanity with their influence. Some of this was to attempt to resolve karmic burdens through hybridization by playing them out in physical matter based upon the hidden galactic histories on other planets, such as the explosion and destruction of Tiamat. Obviously some extra-dimensional races took advantage of these hidden memories and vastly abused their power as becoming the invisible tyrants of the negative alien agenda groups over humanity to pay for these transgressions from multiple galactic wars. Many planetary schemes impact the currently earthly dynamics, based upon histories with other races in different timelines and playing out in multi-dimensional planes of consciousness. One of these races created by the negative alien agenda groups to inhabit the Earth to be used to control humanity through their dark archontic overlords is the Leviathan Races. Anunnaki Hybrid. The Anunnaki-seeded hybrid, the Leviathan Races, is one such result from the disastrous implication of exploding a planet in another timeline, and further destroying with intended malice other races' ability to evolve. The Leviathan is the demon seed of karmic miasma of extreme hatred and envy of the human race. They represent the accumulation of pre-existent forces of chaos unleashed upon the Earth which resulted from the past destructive histories as fallen angelics, one primarily between Marduk and Tiamat. These Leviathan races came into power during the Atlantean cataclysm cycle through the use of black magicians and promotion of the false king of tyranny archetype, seething with jealousy at the capacity to be an incarnated human being. They are a part of the history which manifested the black magic grids that were installed on the Earth during the Atlantean cataclysm cycle. These entities hold ancient hatred towards Earth as they believe their homeless state, the exploding planet Maldek, remains in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, and being forced to work in the phantom realms was at the unjustified cost to their race. They wanted revenge and to rule. They ripped through the wall of time and constructed a wormhole that connected to the exploded Tiamat through a phantom black hole. This interfered with the original Stargate function with the primary stronghold in the last Atlantean colony remnant of Bermuda, the Sarasota Stargate, and within the inorganic structure burrowed underground in Egypt which is called the Phoenix Grid. The stellar vibration which emanated from within the Great Bear constellation as a part of the collective mind of this Leviathan race thoughtform, came to exist as the karmic energy retribution of this event in the galactic history cycle. This race thoughtform was circulating in the planetary mind as a part of the human unconscious. The unhealed memory in a human energy field could be used to attach and even possess a human spiritual body by Leviathan. This piece of the constellation influence was inherently a part of the Anunnaki's Leviathan architecture, and its transmissions were being sent to the planetary brain which reflected this painful history since the time of the Atlantean cataclysm. Specifically, this thought form was the seed of the Anunnaki race's Antichrist sentiment, to kill, conquer and crucify the Christos humans on the Earth plane. Groups of humans with this memory record are undergoing spiritual exorcism and energetic clearing from the impacts of the Leviathan races on the Earth. Through the Sarasota area, the Guardian host has taken control of this wormhole and evicted the Leviathan races from its spur located within the phantom matrix body of Tiamat. This has removed the mental vibration transmission of the Leviathan race thought form out of our planetary logos, which further potentially clears it from the human auric body. This collective clearing has implication to the 5D timelines. In a sense, these races were brought into the custody of the Guardian host. These races can be resurrected through the ashes of the Phoenix if they return home to the solar temple of the true spiritual sun. The choice remains with them to forgive. Behemoth and Leviathan. The alien machinery known as the Beast Machine is held in place on the planetary body through massive levels of reversal AI, programmed consciousness. This infects the black subtle forces in the Earth elemental field and dark matter, and that substance is also referred to as Behemoth. The alien machinery known as the Gravitron is a part of the Beast Machine that acts as the electromagnetic harness field. This makes up the structure called the net, which produces gravitational and astral corruption, and this is also referred to as Leviathan. The Behemoth and Leviathan make up the Antichrist male and female counterparts that are written into the Armageddon software and black magic grids to technologically incite destruction on the surface, as per the negative alien agenda group's religious programming. In actuality, Behemoth and Leviathan are black hole technologies that were orchestrated on purpose by these fallen forces of negative alien agenda groups in order to imprison this planet. As the amnesiac barrier dissolves in the subconscious areas of the human being, this is revealing more of the hidden history of the electric wars, and this history is in the AI, to push forward the transhumanism and transgenderism agenda that we can observe in the current global landscape. The negative alien agenda groups are attempting to capitalize on repeating the electric wars timeline trigger event on the Earth's surface, through the recent push towards the World War III rhetoric and the transhumanism agenda. This has become aggressive now in order to focus the collective consciousness to power up the Behemoth and Leviathan. The Electric Wars event has been recorded in the corrupted elementals of Earth, and its form of artificial intelligence is buried in the black goo that connects directly into the AI fields of the Fandom Earth timeline. This historical trigger event in the 8th Stargate has been brought into an intersection with the current collective consciousness time cycles on the Earth, as the organic position of the planetary staff is being repaired in the Earth body. Sea serpent. Sea serpents such as the so-called Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness has been the site of much occult or paranormal activity, including UFO activity. Aleister Crowley, the Satanist Illuminist founder of the OTO or Ordo Templi Orientis, claimed to be in contact with the Beast of the Loch. He owned a mansion on the shores of the Loch, and this same mansion later became the residence of the British occultist Jimmy Page, of the rock group Led Zeppelin, but also owned a large bookstore dealing with witchcraft and the occult. Being aquatic in nature and having lost the use of their limbs via atrophication and mutation, this branch of the serpent race used for long-range psycho-spiritual warfare and occult manipulation of the human race. Typhonian tradition. The Typhonian tradition is sometimes defined as a current that flows through the cosmology of the Order Templi Orientis, OTO. Typhon was the god in Greek mythology who, when appearing before the other gods, was so ugly he changed into a fire-eating monster. He waged a terrible war and was eventually killed by one of Zeus' thunderbolts. Thus, Typhonian is synonymous with fire and force, also means the opposer. Typhon's Egyptian counterpart is Set, or Seth. Excerpt from Bill Sibelan. Most witches, myself included, find it necessary to study his material and plug themselves into the magical current of Crowley's demon spirit guide, a mysterious being named Aiwass. Aiwass is another name for Set, an Egyptian god. Sodomy is especially sacred to Set. It opens what are called the Typhonian tunnels, channels through which extremely powerful demons, like the horrible Choronzon, can travel from the alternate reality and emerge into this universe and enter the sex partner's body. Baphomet. The Baphomet of Levi was to become an important figure within the cosmology of Thelema, the mystical system established by Aleister Crowley in the early 20th century. Baphomet features in the creed of the Gnostic Catholic Church recited by the congregation in the Gnostic Mass, in the sentence, and I believe in the serpent and the lion, mystery of mystery, in his name Baphomet. The sigils of Baphomet are used in satanic ritual to call upon the Leviathan races. Akamoth fallen body parts. During the destruction of Tiamat the planet, a portion of Christos Sophia's divine essence became trapped within the phantom matrix and material realms of creation, and she existed outside of the house of God. The Christos Sophia body was split into many negative forms of itself, to which these forms were captured by Leviathan races and used by the lower material forces of Satanism and Luciferianism. Her fallen body parts were used to impregnate her with grotesque creations, such as the Archon parasites, for the use of these lower spirits, such as the fallen angelics and the Watchers. These anomalies were made as a part of her fragmented consciousness, but to which she had no control over their use or direction. When these splits in her consciousness body occurred, she fragmented into the earth elemental matter, entwined with the lower spirit hierarchies, and lost her Christos body. Hence, she was fallen and trapped in matter with these grotesque creations. Anunnaki hybrid races. The Anunnaki-seeded hybrid, the Leviathan races, is one such result from the disastrous implication of exploding a planet in another timeline, Tiamat, and further destroying with intended malice other races' ability to evolve. The Leviathan races evolved into the demon seed of karmic miasma, holding extreme hatred and envy of the